You've never had to deal with politicians before.
Welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Oh, I love the Australian accent.
I
There's something
know,
about it.
which is funny because it completely disguised for me who the voice was. So,
Yeah, and I already know I'm going to be disappointed in myself because I'm like, I already know this is a voice, but I couldn't.
you know what? I don't
Oh,
disappointed
okay.
because, like I said, the Australian accent this actor
Yeah.
puts on is real. I mean, real. Like you know how your excuse for Tim Curry,
Yeah.
like this one's legitimate. Like your Tim Curry excuse actually applies to this one.
Okay. But I
Okay.
know it still applies to him too. I don't care what you say. Welcome everybody to DC Fan-imated. I'm of course the film junkie. With me as always, Mr. Scott McClellan.
Howdy.
Heyo.
Hey,
And yeah, this is kind of like the last one of the year because we ain't gonna be doing it on the eves that are coming up.
you know what? I saw the
Yeah.
post, and I was just like, "Huh, really?" And then I went, "Oh, Christmas Eve, New Year's
Yeah.
Eve." No, we're not.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh yeah, it's everything's on a Thursday, so
Which
yeah,
sucks because the next episode is like, okay, I will get to it when we talk about the next episode.
okay.
But the fact that I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks for that is like pissing me off low key. I'm not gonna lie.
That's all good. Yeah, I think I think every year I kind of take a week off, or at least when it comes to Film Junkie Live, probably will do that in between, the holidays, just that last week.
Look, just let's be honest. Who's
There's not
watching?
much. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, it's not so much that who's watching, but it's like, what news is going to be out there?
yeah, because
And if there
everyone's
is, yeah,
holidays.
holidays, studios are shut down, productions are shut down, things are shut down. So, and even people, I mean, even like the bigger YouTubers, they take the time off too. So, I mean, if there's something, I'll just post a video, sure. But yeah, then just take that freaking week off. I can use it. But I'll still post shit, of course, because I'm a nutcase like that. But hey, that's what I do.
True. That is
Yeah.
true. That's true.
I am truly that.
No lies detected.
No lies detected there. But yes, we're talking about Sneak Peek, which both of us last week were kind of going, this doesn't look familiar.
You know what? Soon as it started, well, okay. Soon as it started, I was like, okay. Because I didn't do a premise. But it wasn't really until I saw him in like the spot form.
That's what got it for me too.
I was like, oh damn, I remember this episode. Like,
I was like, okay, now it's ringing bells. I remember this. I remember that.
I remember how it ends. Like, like I remember how last week was like, I think I know this ends. Oh no, what I thought I remembered. When we get to it, I'm going to talk about. There's something about Bruce at the end of the episode that I remember. But once I saw the spot form, I was just like, oh, I really remember how this episode ends.
But it's funny because before I watched the episode, I was like, all right, let me get the thumbnail, let me get that going first. And as soon as I saw the thumbnail, that's when I actually saw the obviously you can see it right behind us. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah,
that episode.
That. I was like, so I actually, before I watched the episode, is when I was already setting up, getting the thumbnail ready to go. I went, okay, yeah, it's starting to ring some bells. I'm remembering this guy. I'm remembering this guy because obviously, when I do a Google search on it, it's showing different things, moments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then that I had that little advantage because I set up the thumbnail before I fired up the episode. But anyways, yeah, we're talking about this. And yeah, I mean, right off the bat, we get introduced to Ian Peak. And he is one of these sleazy, like, hey, I'm gonna just broadcast all the dirty little secrets in Gotham.
It's so funny because I still think in 2000 when this episode aired, once again, it would have probably been made in like 1999. What was TMZ like? I feel like TMZ was around. Was it then?
I don't know.
Because it reminds me of like Inside Edition. Remember that show?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Or when was TMZ started?
Yeah, because there were those shows that were
2005.
Okay, so we're
before that.
We're before TMZ. Okay,
not much, but about 5 years. Yeah,
because this is like I think like Inside Edition. It was tabloid. It was your supermarket tabloid as a 30-minute TV show. Like,
God. I remember just every time I would have to go with my mom to the grocery store, And you always get up to the, you're creeping up to the cash register, and then you're seeing all the magazines, and you're seeing like the People magazine, and then you start seeing the sleazy ones like, oh, Cotton Affair, all this.
Not the Inquirer that's like, that's like complete bullshit. There's gossipy
ones. Well, I do love that in Men in Black that it was actually the best journalism Earth had to offer.
That was so good.
It's so good how they did that. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. But no, yeah, you'd see all that stuff. Yeah, that's what but then of course, during this time, yeah, some of those shows were really starting to and then now, like I said, 2005 TMZ, and TMZ, fucking 20 years later is still, I mean, I see their shit all the time, just clips now, which is so funny. Everything's clips now, it seems.
Yeah. Nothing is like an actual, like, because those used to be packages. Like,
yes.
Fully produced packages.
That's just where we're at with everything. I mean, I was thinking about, I'm sure there's a bunch of people who subscribe to me have only seen my clips. They've never seen a full episode of anything streaming that I've done or anything like that. That's just the way
those pussies have never sat through a 6-hour long vlog stream.
Only the dedicated fans, which is what we like right there. The dedicated fans. So, but yeah. So we get an introduction to Ian Peake. And of course, he's got the Australian accent. So who is the voice?
Michael McKean.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Really?
Another one of those.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, can't you hear it? Like once you see the name, you're like, oh my God, now I hear it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Now, and I knew it. There was like there was something about the voice where I was like, I know that's somebody. I know it's not somebody who's Australian. I'm gonna probably kick myself. But the fact that you are actually saying no, don't kick yourself. It's fine.
No, the Australian accent.
He does good. God, but I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
Once you know it's Michael McKean, you can hear it. Which is funny. Did you know that Michael McKean? Because Michael McKean is just one of those actors that's like
everywhere. Everywhere. He's been in so many things. Spinal Tap. He was just in Better Call Saul.
Because he was Saul's brother.
Yeah, Saul's brother. But he's popped up in so many freaking things. I mean, anything that was he was on Saturday Night Live for a brief little, like, I think he was a cast member for a year or two. I don't know. Sometimes Saturday Night Live, it's funny because Saturday Night Live would have like these groups that would come in, and then they would just fire them all and be like, no, this is not working. And it would be like, wait a minute. In this, there's Robert Downey Jr., Anthony, you had this group, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, what? Billy Crystal, what? And you're like, yeah, they had like these short moments until they found like a good group that went on for about like a half a decade. But Michael McKean was, I think he was like on there for like 1 year or something like that. Can't remember, sometime in the early 90s or late 80s.
It's really interesting because he has a rather interesting DC pedigree. Do you know who's married? Yeah, do you know who he's married to?
I do not.
Annette O'Toole.
Oh, well, there you go.
Right. Lana Lang in Superman 3 and Martha in Smallville, which led to Michael McKean being in an episode of Smallville as Perry White.
Jesus Christ. See how it all goes? It's just crazy how that is. But all right, there you go. And now I can fucking hear it. That's so cool. Is there anybody else in this?
No. Well, everyone else is just like he's the only. Everyone else is just recurring.
Yeah,
recurring cast.
Again. Yeah. Okay, just making sure because there was, some other voices in there of other people that I thought, is that somebody? Maybe I've just heard them before. That's probably what it is. Like, oh, I've just heard this voice in something else before, which happens a lot.
Yes. But yeah, Michael McKean is Ian Peake. And I also enjoyed when he was going through all his gossip that we got another nod to Paxton Powers. Once again, it's like, okay, we're still not doing anything with him yet, but he's here,
Yeah, and then he even talks about a rock star doing splicing, so there's another.
Which was interesting to learn that splicing is now illegal.
Yes. Which is cool because they showed like her basically in a back alley getting the treatments or the whatever the hell she has to do to shoot up to become like a dragon lady kind of thing. But yeah, so I mean it was cool. Like it was a good way to start to get introduced to this character and then of course getting some callbacks, and then we haven't heard from Paxton since the finale, right? So, the finale. Or
I think we haven't heard from Paxton, and we haven't seen Paxton. I think Paxton got mentioned in Armory last week when Jim got fired from Wayne Powers.
Oh.
But we haven't seen Paxton since the season 1 finale.
Gotcha.
So
there we go. So and he's doing his things. But yeah, so we get this, but it's also funny too because I'm thinking like, is this even legal? Is any of this legal? Like, it's not really legal, right? To actually
trespassing.
Yes.
It's kind of like, well, it's interesting when you talk about legal. I think really the trespassing is the big thing.
Yeah. Filming without someone's consent.
Is that like an across the board law, or is that more like?
Well, I think you could do that in public because it's public space. Because I always come across those videos where like you always have those guys who are like, no, I can do it. I could, you always get those
because they can even film on private. They can, as long as they're standing in public space.
Yes,
they film something even if it's happening on private property, as long as them and the camera are on public space.
Yes, it's all the things where, like, I mean, say you were walking in your backyard, you didn't have any clothes on. You could do that, but if somebody sees you in the public, you could be arrested. So that's where we're kind of doing it like that. Yeah, it's private. I know I'm doing like the reverse thing. I don't know why that came into my head, but I'm just saying like if you're filming on someone's private property, you can't do that. Illegal, but public is free for all. And like I said, that's where the law is right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to DC Fan-imated.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So feel free to walk around naked in your backyard, guys. Just don't make sure that the street can't see you, or the neighbors. Anyways, but so like, so I was like thinking about that. I was going like, wait, this should be like, he wouldn't be able to do this necessarily because things are on private property. But at the same time, maybe when it comes to private, like when it shows Paxton like on a private party or something like that, probably couldn't do it there. But the whole thing with the rock star, she's in public, so that's.
But they also can't prove how he's filming this.
That's true. I think that's part of it. Yeah,
that's the part that's the loophole, is that you'd have to prove that he's doing something illegal. Like you can. Like the one that the one with the boxing coach is like, okay, you're clearly in his office filming that. Like, so how? But if you can't answer how, well, it's not like they can arrest you or charge you with anything because they have.
Well, I just got given. I got given the well, not the tape, but the disc. So, and then even like his little assistant guy is like, how the hell do you get these?
I assume that was like his producer. Like that was
a producer guy.
Yeah.
And then we cut to we got a return of course, Mr. Sam Young, the DEA.
The what again?
Yeah,
the Drug Enforcement Agency.
Wait, who's he again?
He is the DA.
He's the DA. That's right.
Not the DEA.
Too many letters. I went to too many letters on that one. Oh man, I swear, I am the worst at acronyms. I don't know how many times
acronyms, pronunciations, names.
Yes, yeah. Oh, dude, but I love it when people like do like acronyms, like when I'm like, especially I'm texting or messaging or whatever, and someone just puts like an acronym. I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what the hell that is. But I hate it when people, I know I'm sounding like old man Dave right now.
You are. Oh, just go sit back on your porch, Dave.
Yes, pretty much. But I was just like, but I hate it when like people shorten something that didn't need to be shortened.
Shortened.
Like,
oh God,
said it, but you lazy ass. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't know this acronym. Oh, they just took like 2 letters out. I'm like, shit. Okay, whatever. Anyways, there you go. I'm done with my rant.
Raise your hand if you've actually Googled the acronyms just so you can understand what the text said.
Yes. Oh, I've done that too. But sometimes I make them tell me because I'm like, come on. Anyway,
I think one of the last times I did that was TLDNR.
Yeah, I still don't know what that is. I
Too long, did not read.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with your LOLs and your LMAOs, and I got those. Yeah, but then there's sometimes where I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what the hell that is. But like I said, that's just old. That's the analog me, because both Scott and I grew up in analog and then we converted into digital. So, there we go. That's the way we put it right there. We're hybrids.
We are hybrids. We're the Oregon Trail generation.
Yes. I think that's very fortunate, to be honest. I think it's very fortunate that we grew up in both. Because we got a little bit. I can't even imagine being fully, like my nephew pretty much fully grew up in the digital world.
Oh my God. There was a reel. I didn't get to finish watching it. I think it's from The Rock, because of Ed Harris was in the video. But I love it when they use clips from movies and then they put like a caption on it. And it was like millennials saying that they remember a world before the internet, and then it has Ed Harris with a caption going, millennial born in the 80s. And he's talking to a guy going, are you really the chief of staff? How old are you?
Yeah,
I'm 33, sir. What, you motherfucker?
Oh yeah, that's mean. That's
from The Rock, right?
Yeah, that is from The Rock. Is when they were having that video call, and he's like, "Who is this?" And then he just gives him the shit. How old are you? Well, yeah, he just gives him the business. Yeah, oh God, I love that movie. Anyways, so so we got we cut to, of course, we got Sam Young, who is meeting with Mr. Lin. I forgot his first name. What was his first name? Something Lin.
Did he give him? I just know he was Mr.
I think
Lin.
there was. I think Ian does when he does the story.
Okay, that's what I think. Know is Mr. Lin from the Tong.
Yeah, let's go with Mr. Lin. But he's talking about the Tong, I guess you could say. So apparently, there's like this group called the Tong that is within Gotham that he's meeting with Sam Lin.
Clearly, I don't want to say Chinese, because I usually when I hear Chinese, I think of the Triad. But like one of those, because in Japan it's the Yakuza traditionally. I'm not saying that there's only one kind of mafia, but usually, they're
it's a mafia type of thing.
It's a mafia type of thing, and clearly he's ratting them out to avoid tax evasion.
Yes, of course. It's all about the greed. And so they're meeting, and of course he's very nervous about doing it because it's like, hey, I'm talking to the police, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. And then naturally, Ian, this is where we first see him in his little molecule weird suit where he can pass through walls, and he's not invisible, but he just passed through everything.
He's at a phase.
Yeah, he's at a phase.
But that was a good thing to realize, that he had to keep on sneaking, because yes, we can still we can still see him.
Yes,
he's just he can move through things well. And he can control when he can and cannot move through things, because clearly he can still walk on the floor.
Yes.
And he can solidify himself enough to like push a button on the elevator. But then other times he's moving, which is always interesting when we deal with a supervillain who can phase through objects. There's always that question of why aren't you falling through the floor?
Yeah.
But I feel like this episode establishes pretty easily. Now, it doesn't establish the mechanism by which he's able to like control that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that he can choose when he does and does not, and what part of him is solid and what is not.
Yeah.
Because after because Ian spies on the meeting between Sam and Mr. Lin. He gets out of there. He runs into a cop. He has to knock the cop out. The cop sets off an alarm, which alerts Terry. Terry, as Batman, intervenes. I got it in there this time. I got to do it this week.
You did it.
Yeah.
And
but
then, course,
during the
Bruce,
fight,
there's a you never had to deal with face politicians before.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the little the sly grin that Bruce has on his face. But when Terry as Batman is fighting, Molecule Man, it's you could tell that he's able to adjust his I'm not even sure what's the word. His density or whatever you want to call it, because Terry can be punching through him at the same time that then Ian's able to land a punch. So it's like, oh no, I'm going to make this something you could pass through, but I'm going to make this something that can actually hit you. So he has an ability, one way or the other, to very precisely control what's out of phase and what isn't.
Yes.
I would love for there had to have been a little exposition about how he's able to have such precise.
But they weren't going to do that. They weren't
going to do that. I know. I get that they weren't going to.
Yeah, but as 40-year-old men, we're like, we got to know. As kids, we're like, oh, look at this guy. Younger, we're like, oh, this guy's interesting. But then,
it's a little. You know what I was just thinking about? That little spoken of Batman the Animated Series episode that I think we both loved, the See No Evil episode. Remember the one with the deadbeat dad with the Invisible Man suit?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like that. Yeah.
I really love that episode. I really do. Episode.
So obviously Batman chases him down. They have a little fight, and then he kicks open a pipe that has some flammable liquid. I mean, it's basically oil, right? Just some kind of oil.
It looks like oil to me.
It was like red. I was like, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's flammable because he just lights it up, and
it's transmission fluid.
Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, who knows?
I only say that because I actually changed my transmission fluid last week. And transmission fluid is red.
Yeah, there you go. It is. That could be something with some kind of oil. But so then of course things blow up. He gets away. You know how it is. But then. Yeah, and then of course this is where we start getting a little bit of exposition right here. Is like the next day when Terry is in class, and they start, the teachers. It's like a science class, and he starts talking about molecules and atoms and everything. And I love how the teacher was like, oh, when Terry's asking a question, oh Terry, you're awake.
I know. It's like, oh, you speak.
You're actually like, what? You're here and you're asking a question.
But also kind of like last week with Armory when we gave Terry credit because he really quickly figured out, oh yeah, it's Jim. Like it's clearly his dad. I love the fact that Terry was able to apply what his teacher was talking about, and he realized, oh, so this is how that could work, because it is a scientific fact that in what we consider solid matter, there is an amazing amount of empty space.
True. And so you get a little lesson, which is cool. And something about that teacher, I was wondering if he was a voice, because he sounded familiar too, but who knows? Probably not. Probably just one of those voices that just had been,
the voice actor, the voice
actor pull that they just bring, hey, you sound like a teacher. It's actually sounded like who voiced Professor Hamilton. That's who it kind of sounded like.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know.
He had some interesting facial hair going. I'll give him credit for that. Yeah. Okay, so Terry goes to Bruce to basically say, hey, here's my theory about this guy I fought last night from my high school physics class that I'm taking. And then Bruce brings up this, I think Tanaka was the name, was that the name of the scientist that worked for Wayne Powers. There's only one thing that made me stop and like, dude, Bruce, seriously. So he's talking about Tanaka had these theories about, the ability to vibrate and I was like, Bruce,
talk about the Flash. I knew exactly where you were going. Because I'm sitting there going, talk about Barry. Talk about Barry.
Well, okay. However, correction.
Oh, yeah, Wally.
Wally. In this universe, it's Wally. But yes.
I forgot it's Wally. Sorry. Did forget it was Wally. Yes. But yeah,
we don't know yet, but we will later,
Dude, I knew exactly where you're going. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I know where he's going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt it. I just was
it's fine. I love when you're so excited that you're like,
yes, I'm like, I'm right there with you. I'm like, mention the Flash. Come on. Oh, I was so I know, such a little missed opportunity right there. A little bit of a missed opportunity.
Okay, but we have to once again acknowledge that in the universe at this moment, we've never seen an interaction between Batman and the Flash. Like, we have not even at this point acknowledged that there ever was the Justice League.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Because at this moment, we've only had the Flash interact with Superman. Right? Oh, did you freeze?
You totally like glitched out there.
Ooh,
you froze up.
Or you're glitching. Yeah, one of us is glitching. Hold on.
Oh yeah, you're glitching. Now? You're glitching bad.
Yeah, you're glitching too. Yes, can't tell who's glitching more. Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm looking at the Twitter feed. Uh-oh. I think it's you, Scott. I'm looking at the Twitter feed. I'm moving and you're not. So we might have to come back in. We might have a little technical difficulty here, folks. That's all. I think I'm all right. But yeah, it's looking like if I'm looking at the Twitter feed right now and it's fine. So he's going to have to come back in. But yeah, that's so funny. As soon as we start talking about phasing and talking about certain things, so I think hopefully I'm going to, yeah, he's still frozen right there. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll try to get Scott back right here. But that is so funny because I knew exactly what he was talking about. All right, there we go. Now he's out. He'll probably come pop back in. But yeah, I knew exactly what he was talking about because I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, talk about the Flash. You want that, but then he brings up a good point that in the in the timeline of things, when it comes to the animated universe, it's like there you go, you're back.
You know what? I figured out what happened. I looked at my Wi-Fi on my computer. I was on the wrong network.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering if it was me or you, and then I looked at the Twitter playback, and yeah, you were the one frozen. So I was like, yeah, it's so funny because remember how many times you would like glitch out, like
and then I got my internet, and then I got my internet fixed.
Yes, yeah, you got a new internet, and then everything's been good. So yeah.
Oh gosh, this is hilarious. So I texted Liam because I was wondering if he was watching Netflix. The microwave was on. Which, by the way, folks, it is a legitimate fact that the microwave fucks with your Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah. That's why they said. That's why they said don't like stand in front of it. I mean, even though it's like in there, there's still waves shooting through that thing. That's the thing. That's why I don't use the microwave that much. I'm like,
but I did also see that I was on the wrong. I was on the wrong Wi-Fi because I have two different Wi-Fi networks to help stop that issue, and that was the problem. So
that's the thing.
It's been so long since we've had that issue.
Yeah, we've had a glitch. No, I know. Like nowadays, routers have like a 5 gigahertz and a 2.5 gigahertz.
And I created the 5 gigahertz one that only I know about. So I'm the only one who I'm the only one who accesses the 5 gigahertz.
You want the stronger signal.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I think that's totally. It's smart to do that. Because I mean, obviously, if you have a lot of devices connected to it, it's good.
I live in a household of 5 people.
You better believe you have like all that. You have to have it dedicated, two different things. So there we go. All right, we're back. So yeah.
So we're talking about the fact that we have yet in this continuity to establish that there ever was a Justice League.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they didn't, but it could have been like a cool thing if they weren't like, well, what if he mentions like the Flash? Because we have to assume that maybe by this time it would have been cool, but totally understand why there wasn't,
Right. Because that would have been like a Marvel type Easter egg where you go, that really wasn't necessary. Like that really wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it could have been like, yeah, true. But yeah, so of course they're researching, and doing all that and talking about the technology and everything. And then of course we get a whole new, like when Terry's back at home, waking up, he gets woken up by Matt, and he goes like, hey, check this out, it's Batman. And of course Terry gets right up, and then he sees like a commercial basically of Ian Peak saying that, hey, wait, am I getting ahead of myself?
You are getting way ahead of yourself.
Totally ahead of myself, right?
You are way ahead of yourself, because that's not until Batman's next encounter with Ian.
Oh yeah, duh. Jesus Christ. I was looking at the wrong notes, because it's basically the show, not the show of like, the preview of him about to, expose Batman. It's the show of basically they're exposing Lynn.
Of Mr. Lynn.
Yes. That's sorry. I totally got ahead of him. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like it's right here. Why would
no, because first he has to figure out how Ian is, without knowing it's Ian, he's got to figure out how Ian's doing what he's doing.
Yes.
Then Ian does his show and does his expose of Mr. Lynn, which is
him
such a dumbass. I mean, really? You have no security? You don't think the mafia is going to like?
It's hilarious because because obviously Mr. Lynn shows up, and Terry like approaches him, or as Batman approaches him, and I love that he, kind of shows up in the obviously stealth mode, cloak mode, and then so again, good on Terry for figuring out what's going on, because he even says like, because obviously Ian is just like saying like, if I was doing that, I'd be a millionaire journalist, and he goes, you are. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you are. What the hell are you talking about? And then Mr. Lynn shows up and with like a fucking bazooka.
I know.
He just starts firing up the place.
And two thugs. No, what I really thought was funny though is that when Ian runs into the closet, Mr. Lynn like stands right so close to the door with the bazooka that they actually animated him getting blown back from the explosion of him blowing through the door.
Dude has lost his mind by doing that. I mean, talk about not keeping a low profile. Just like go in there with some like, just start slicing people up. Turn off, cut the power, slice people up, do it quietly, get some silencers. I was listening to a podcast. This is a total tangent. Listening to a podcast recently, and they brought up something kind of funny. When people get shot with silencers, why do they die quiet? You ever notice that? I was like, wow, I never really thought about that. Anytime you see somebody go, it's always like, but it's never like, ah. It's like, that's true. I was like, they pointed that out. I was like, holy shit, I never really thought about that. Yeah, people who get shot by a silencer have a quiet.
Well, and they also have to shoot him so close because you have to shoot so close because a suppressor like fucks with your accuracy.
Yeah. Oh man, and not to mention a real life suppressor doesn't suppress that much.
No.
That's so funny. It is such a
does not. I love how television has trained us to think that a silencer sounds like, because they all use the same freaking sound. Like it's that sound.
Yeah.
It's like no. That's not,
that's not how it really is in real life. You put one of those on, it's just it quiets it a little bit, but not that much. Doesn't sound like that. That's for real, but that's the way it is. I mean, when somebody gets punched in real life, it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like the sound effects that they put in there. You actually hear the that kind of sound. It sounds almost like a slap, but louder. Anyways, that's our.
I really appreciate it. That was a great tangent.
It was a great tangent because I just heard that on a podcast, and I was like, I started laughing because I was like, I never thought about that. It's like, why do people who get killed by a silencer die in silence? Like, that is true. That is very true. It's always. Anyways, so he starts finding, and then of course, Ian just disappears just through the wall. And then this is where Terry or Batman just takes the Batmobile back, but we know something's not right here. And then of course,
because we saw Ian come. Okay, Terry,
Yes.
why did you park the Batmobile in an alley?
Yeah,
You have a freaking flying car.
Keep it in the air. Keep it in hover mode.
Or the roof. But why
Yeah,
are you parked just out? I mean, at least Bruce, when he had his Batmobile, he would park it in an alley. At least he had like camouflage mode.
Yeah, it's something, but yeah, but they needed an easy way for Ian to slip in there and
Okay.
However,
but here is but how did Ian get the camera? No, because he can move through solid objects. Never mind. I just answered my own question. Forgot. Remember what this whole villain superpower is, Scott?
Yeah, we've already established. He can. Yeah. No.
It's been a long ass day. You know what?
Yeah, I get it. But yeah. So then, of course, he goes back to the Batcave, and then we see Ian, like, looking at a device where he's like tuning it, which is funny. Because like
it looks like one of those freaking like remote control cars, little RC cars.
It's hilarious. I mean, if this was like accurate now, he would just be looking at a tablet or a phone or something like that.
Exactly.
Like, gotcha. But
he'd be tapping the screen.
Yeah, exactly. So then of course he sees he's seeing everything that's happening there, and then of course this is where
yes, now we get to Terry waking up to Matt.
Wow, Matt's going like, "Hey, get up, it's Batman." And of course Terry gets up, and then we get this whole tonight on Inside Peak, and then he blurs the face of Terry, blurs the face of Bruce, saying that he's going to expose all that and everything. And of course Terry's like, "Oh shit," and then immediately there's
a what the fuck. And once again, he calls Bruce. I still love the fact that Bruce is wearing like the full-on headset as his
operator,
instead of like AirPods, it's like, I don't know, we had the full-blown headset.
Which is what it would be now. It would just be like like that, just tap it. But
touching your ear. Sorry.
What's that from?
I love that scene in Casino Royale. I really do.
Yeah, stop touching. Yes. Yeah. He's saying that to her, right?
No, it's in the African rundown scene, the beginning of the other MI6 agent.
That's right. God, such a good movie. He sees that, calls him, and then it's just like, and of course Terry's just like, because Bruce found the camera in the Batmobile, and then we see him crush it with his cane. And then and of course Terry's just blaming himself, just totally blah and everything. So
don't park in the alley, Terry. Like,
don't you messed up. Do not park right there. And then of course he decides to give
don't poke right there either. Like that.
Don't poke. Don't park. Or
don't park in public. Just
keep it in the air. All right. So then he gives, he visits Ian in his office as Batman, and then of course Ian's just like, "Hello, Terry." Just calls him by his first name. He goes, "Yeah, once I knew it was Bruce Wayne, it wasn't hard to figure out that."
We established this. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to realize that. And of course, Terry's trying to be like, "Hey, don't expose."
Well, he's trying to be. He's being sincere, and that's the problem. Yes. Ian Peake is the douchey piece of trash. Sincerity means sincerity means nothing to trash like that.
No, and I love how he even says, like, in this business, you don't even you don't hear like sincerity, but he hears it in Terry, but it still doesn't faze him.
No, because he's an asshole.
Yeah, because he wants the story, he wants to do all that, but there has been like little warning signs of like where you already know where it's gonna go, where Ian's having like stomach pains, like.
Yeah, and that was one of the things, is that when the stomach pain started, I was like, "Oh yeah." I was waiting for the scene, because I always remembered it started in his belly. So I was just waiting to like, I was waiting for when's the scene where he like rips the shirt open and we see the giant hole in his gut.
Yeah, we get to that point, but and then of course we go back to Terry's apartment, and it's funny because Terry's mom and Matt, they're like popping popcorn. They can't wait for this, and because Terry's mom didn't want either one of them to watch that program, at the beginning, and she even said it was kind of funny because, like, what if it's you? What if you're the one that's being exposed, and now Terry is going to get exposed, and then she's just like,
what do I know?
Yeah. She's all, that just shows you that trash TV or trash anything, there's always something, even though you'd be like, that stuff's garbage. But then there might be something that you
as long as they find the thing that you're interested in,
that's suddenly, the thing.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I mean, it's just that we've all been guilty of it, no matter what. We've all been guilty of, like, oh God, I'm not going to watch any of that. And then all of a sudden there's something that piques your interest and you're like, shit. Pulls you right in. I mean, it's like in those old Looney Tunes cartoons when Grandma puts that pie on the windowsill, and all of a sudden the little wave of like the smell just gets you, and all of a sudden you're floating towards it. It's like, ugh, that was a good little.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that. Back in the days when you would put a pie on the windowsill to cool it.
Yes.
After you just took it out of the oven.
Yes.
Back in my day.
Yeah. But then they would always animate like this, the scent, and it would always.
But I always loved how, like, when they floated, they always followed the pattern of the scent,
Exactly.
God, I love Looney Tunes.
Oh, so good. I can't wait for Coyote versus Acme, to be honest.
I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm there.
Totally. The fact that guy is coming out, I'm totally good. And
I love the fact that I love the concept that Coyote's going to sue Acme because their shit never worked.
As he should. I mean, that's why I love it, because I would say Daffy Duck was my favorite. Wile E. Coyote was my second favorite.
I was the kid who wanted Wile E. Coyote to catch the damn Roadrunner.
Exactly. I always looked forward to those, and he always got screwed over by Acme, and the fact that they were going to make a movie about him suing Acme, fucking awesome. That's why I'm so glad that it's actually going to get released. Anyways, another tangent. It's the end of the year show, folks. So yeah. But yeah, so
sorry, Brian Regan. If you have never seen his stand-up, he does an emergency room. He does an emergency room bit that is one of the funniest things, and especially if you've ever been to the emergency room, it is something that will actually make you laugh even when you're in the emergency room, because you're just like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian Regan's good. He's probably one of the best clean comics.
Right. Because he does, because he still because once again, he's just funny. He's just really funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh, so
they're gonna watch the Inside Peak, and then of course we see Ian before the show starts going on. He's having stomach problems in his dressing room, and then of course this is when
he dramatically rips the jacket open.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we get the hole in his stomach, and he actually puts his hand in there, which is kind of like, ooh. Yeah, gross.
That felt like a cool Cronenberg type moment.
Kind of is little body horror
going on there. Yeah.
Oh man, Videodrome, the new flesh. Long live the new flesh.
Have you ever seen Videodrome? I've never seen that one.
Good God. Well, that was of course back in the 80s. So you had people pulling out videotapes from their chest. It was the videotape would be pulsating. Oh. So freaking, I mean, it's one of those where it's erotic and it's body horror because it's Cronenberg. Good movie though. James Woods, yep, good movie. Long live the new flesh. That's the line when it comes to that, because it's kind of like an alien thing, and anyways. So obviously Terry's pacing back and forth before it's gonna start, and then luck has it that due to some technical difficulties, they are postponing the show. And of course, sigh of relief. But I love the fact that before, Terry's just he's just going to confess to his mom and Matt. He's just like, I'm Batman. And they just laugh at him.
Yeah. They think it's a hilarious joke. I don't know if I buy that as Mary's reaction.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that's really how Mary would, totally how I would think that Matt would react.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it's a good moment, even how unbelievable Mary reacting that way would be. But
it's a good moment. It's a good moment. And then of course, yeah. And then Terry immediately, of course, calls Bruce, and then we cut to the Batcave, and it's just, you know,
nobody's home.
Nobody, and he's just like, answer, old man. And then we get to, I mean, it's so funny because I was like, oh wow, we're getting to the end of this. We're not gonna have like an, you know, an actiony type of like ending here.
No, but the ending is so cool.
It's like really good though. It's like
good ending
because we get a Bruce Wayne confronting the villain ending, which we don't get often. We really don't.
We really don't. And I also love how he's got like his futuristic trench coat, but with the collar popped. Like there's always something about the collar popped on a trench coat. I've always really
something
enjoyed.
about that. It's just really cool. But yeah, so then we get the bad.
Where'd you go? Where?
Well, we know where. You know.
Yeah, we know where he's going. Oh, the Dutch tilt.
Why'd you call me here?
I can't control it anymore.
God, I hear the voice now.
Right, you really do.
So what do you want from me?
My body's
And
losing its substance.
you know what I
You gotta
love
help
about
me.
Bruce in this entire
You have the
scene
resources,
is
that
like
company,
Ian
all those
actually is
scientists.
asking for
There are
help, which
other
is
companies.
really hilarious.
Yes, but
but
Taco
Bruce just has
worked
a
for
total like,
yours.
fuck
What does
you.
He's all, hey,
do
you made your
I
bed,
was the
bitch.
last one to
You
interview
know,
him.
you did it.
Taka never would have talked to someone like you.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how obsequious someone like me can be when I need to. I have Taka's files and research right in there.
By the way, really big word for a
I
Saturday
even have
morning
the bounty.
cartoon.
That's very true.
You stole it. You're the one who started the fire.
I had to have it. To him, it was just some experiment, but to me, it was
Yeah.
power.
Then you get that
A
villain.
chance to kick my career into
I'm gonna
high
reveal
gear.
everything because I'm desperate.
Yes. I'm monologuing.
Yeah.
You can't leave.
And then look at Bruce.
You gotta help me.
Fuck you.
Give me one good reason.
Yeah.
I know your secret. I know who you used to be.
And then his face.
You're losing your head.
I love it. Bruce is like, yeah,
Wait.
you are so fucked right
This is-
now. There's
The only unedited footage from the cave. No one's seen it but me. Take it.
Because let's be honest, Ian really has no cards.
He does. Then he just decides to attack him. I'm like, really? You guys? I mean, yeah, he's an old man, but
He's still
was
Batman.
Yeah.
You know? It's
And
like-
you know that he will. But I mean, he's desperate.
now, to his credit, he doesn't try to like fight him. He just his duty is just to drag him and throw him off the building.
Yeah, that's true. But Batman intervenes.
Okay, you got one in. Because I want to know how Bruce is surviving this. You know,
Nah, he's tough.
you know.
All those scars, the tough in his skin.
Yeah. But this is really cool when the gun literally like slips through his hands.
Well, yeah. He can't control it like he
No.
controls the thing.
It looks like there's only one force left that has any effect on him.
Gravity. And I love it how Bruce is just like,
Yeah. What can he do? Give him his
like,
eyes.
Terry is trying to save the man. And Bruce is like, I will take the footage and I will leisurely walk. This is like the epitome of that Batman Begins line with Ra's al Ghul when he's like, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Pretty much. Like, dude, Terry, what are you even gonna do? He's screwed. Just let him fall to the melting air.
You gotta stay solid. Concentrate. Concentrate.
So that's interesting because that suggests that he has some sort of mental control
Yeah.
over the process.
And then he just starts
I also
losing
love how he
it.
starts laughing like he just loses his damn mind
Yeah.
as he, you know.
What's gonna happen to him?
And Bruce got
My
down there
guess.
fast.
He'll keep right on falling till he reaches.
I
the
did think
center
that. I
of
was
the
like,
earth.
oh, that elevator,
It's about
that's
as
the
inside
express
as you can
elevator.
get.
And then he says that line like he's going to keep on falling till he gets to the center of the earth. That's about as inside as you can get. That's like the most cold-hearted bastard line. It's like,
Dude.
fuck him.
Kudos
You know?
to Bruce. Yeah, we didn't have Bruce last week, right?
No, we didn't have Bruce last
so
week.
He came back. They were like, "Oh, but he's coming back, and he's coming. He's gonna have some good fucking lines. He's gonna have some physical shit that he's doing." So that's good.
Okay, I go back to. I'm just gonna stir the pot a little bit. You know, when everyone wants to be like, "Oh, Bruce is gonna save people," but look at this. Even back in 2000, we'd have a Bruce that'd be like, fuck him.
Yeah, like you did the. I mean, it's a Bruce Wayne that has been around so long, where it's like, yeah, you want to, obviously there was that point where he was trying to save anybody who like was doing some wrongs, but he's just an old man. He's just like, hey, you're the one that fucking did it. You killed somebody by getting this technology, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is that we still have continued to not know everything that's happened in the missing 50 years.
Through that, yeah.
So there is so much more to be revealed about what went down that really makes Bruce like this. So he's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, I love that. So there we go, guys. That is Snake Peak. That's right. It's Snake Peak. Oh God, I could just hear the voice now. I'm like, I knew it. I knew there was somebody fucking. Oh man, but yeah. So this will be the last Batman Fan-imated until the new year, because we have Christmas Eve next week, and next week,
yeah.
And
the week after that is New Year's Eve.
I think one year we also had something where we had. I think it was probably when we had it on a different day, or probably when we had it on Sunday, where we had a.
Because because Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are always on the same day of the week.
Yeah, true. So then and so when it affects that, but yeah, so we'll take like a 2-week little break. Like I said, I'll probably be taking a break from streaming too. Vodka streams probably will still be happening. As of right now, they will be, but Film Junkie Lives, we'll see. I think I'll take the last week off when it comes to that, but we'll see what happens when it comes to the channel. But yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But what is the episode that we're going to be doing?
Okay.
Okay.
It is top 3, maybe even top 2 of Batman Beyond episodes of my personal list of all time.
Oh.
And it's not one that I think you'd expect, but funny enough, according to IMDb, it is the highest rated episode of Batman Beyond.
Dude, yeah, I remember. I do remember this one a little bit.
You already peaked? You already peaked?
Yeah, I peaked. I could. Oh yeah.
Okay, it's the egg baby.
The egg baby. What the fuck?
I know. Okay, so here's the thing, though. Listen. Not only is it the highest rated episode on IMDb for Batman Beyond, it won an Emmy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love this episode. Right. I legit love this episode so much.
I don't remember it fully, but I remember it.
I remember I really remember the egg baby. Like this is an episode.
Come to me because I'm when I looked at the thumbnail was actually good. Because he's holding it. So I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, that'll be a fun one. But yeah, well, you guys have a good holidays, I should say. Good Christmas, good New Year's and everything. We'll be right back here the first Wednesday of the new year. And yeah, like I said, things will be running normally on the channel, but a little less frequent as we get closer to the end of the year. But yeah, this is always fun to talk these episodes and everything. And then, like I said, we ain't stopping. We got plenty to still talk about for sure. And yeah, we're gonna continue on Batman Beyond into the new year, to 2026. Crazy.
Yeah, 2026 is gonna be a crazy year for the stream.
Okay, I gotta ask you. Well, okay. So before we wrap it up, because last week. Because we always do like a little catching up on, hey, what are we going to be seeing movie-wise?
Yes.
You saw Dust Bunny.
I did see Dust Bunny.
I saw Dust Bunny.
You did see? I have not watched your first reaction video.
Okay. What did you think of Dust Bunny?
I don't know what I think about Dust Bunny.
That's really?
Okay. So here's... Okay. And I said this in my Letterboxd review. I gave it 3 stars, 3 out of 5 stars, because... part of it was the movie was not the movie I was expecting to see.
Okay. I could see that.
And I like I found it. This was the line to my letterbox too. I found it fantastical, but not particularly sensical.
Okay.
So it's one of those movies where I legit needed the first viewing to wash over me. And now I need to go back and watch it again with the proper settings on my brain, because it wasn't the movie I thought I was going to see.
But
I thought the score was beautiful. The music score from the movie was beautiful.
Shot well.
Oh, shot well.
Mads Mikkelsen was great. The little girl was adorable. My God.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It was adorable.
I was surprised how little, especially for like the first 10, 15 minutes, how there was almost no dialogue.
Yeah.
Like it is a different kind of movie. And I appreciated that about Lionsgate. Lionsgate will take swings with movies. They will.
This is a swing. Yeah. I enjoyed it. If you watch my first reaction, I'm like, because without giving away anything,
you can't give away anything. Like
you really can't. It's hard to talk. It's hard to really talk to emphasize what you're feeling unless you want to give away things, because you just kind of go, huh, the whole time you're going, huh. Okay,
right.
I think
you're questioning.
Yes,
you're questioning what you're watching.
Yes, and you're going like, oh, is it going to take this direction or is it going to take this direction? I'm like, there are things where you're going,
what's real, not real.
Yeah. But when we get done with here, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more, because again, I want. It's one of those movies where I'm like, like I said, take swings. When people are complaining about there's no originality, this is a pretty fucking original movie where it's like, oh, this is one of those where like, hey, you want something original? Go check this out. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't.
I don't know how I feel. Like I didn't hate it. It's like I don't hate it.
No,
but I can't decide where on the I like it scale I'm on, because like I said, I was expecting a different movie than what I got.
Yeah.
And I need that second viewing to go, okay, let's watch this again with the correct lenses on.
Nice. Are you going to be seeing Avatar?
No, I'm going to go see The Housemaid.
Okay. You're not a big Avatar guy, right?
I've never seen any of the Avatar movies.
Okay, so there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, it's funny because I'm seeing Avatar tomorrow at 2. Okay. My dad and his wife are coming down. We're going to IMAX 3D because that's how you see these fucking movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an experience. So I'll be seeing that, and I'll be, of course, posting my first reaction when I get home, because obviously it'll be earlier than usual. So I'll post it tomorrow evening. And but when you talk about Housemaid, it's like one of those where I'm like, I do want to see it, because I haven't read the book. You read the book, right?
I have not read the book.
Wow.
I actually intentionally chose, because it's twisty.
Yes.
What I've heard. I mean, the thing I kept on seeing in all the early reactions is that it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want the book to ruin that.
You want to go in there fresh.
I want to go in there fresh, but it's another Lionsgate movie. Go, see my previous statement, and it's directed by Paul Feig, who, if I'm not mistaken, also directed A Simple Favor.
Yes.
Which
with the Blake Lively and
Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that first one. That first one was twisty too.
I still have not seen those. I have to watch them.
You can skip the second. Don't watch the second one. But watch the first one.
Yeah.
So I've seen what Paul Feig did with that, which was also based on the book.
Yeah.
And this one looks interesting, and it's got Amanda Seyfried, and it's got Sydney Sweeney. And it's got Brandon Sklar. So I'm like, I trust the people involved in this movie.
It's got eye candy for both. Or if you like both, it's got eye candy all around. I mean, the four mains are just ridiculously good looking people. Like, it's ridiculous how good looking the four mains are in this movie. So you got that. And then, I even saw some reviews of that. It's like, it's got something for everybody. It's like got dark humor, it's twisty, and it's sexy, because I mean, you got 2 hot dudes and 2 hot women, and it's like, okay, it's got something for it. So it's going to be interesting box office wise, because you got arguably, we got an anticipated third movie of a $4 billion franchise that we're kind of questioning, is this movie going to do as well? But then not everybody's going to want to go to that. So that's why, like, I love it when you have these opposite type of movies. You got the big
because this
blockbuster.
one, this author, like Heather has read a book by this author, just not this book, but she's got that, like, so you've got kind of like that women's book club crowd that, like,
oh yeah, they're not going to want to go see a bunch of blue people, fighting, other blue people with fire and shit like that. They're not going to want to go to that. They want to go to something like this, which is, that's smart because you can get that crowd. And I'm kind of curious. And what's funny is like a friend of mine, she, shocker, she's a fan of Brandon Sklenar.
I mean, I'm a friend of Brandon Sklenar, just not for that reason, but
well, she's also watched 1923.
Yeah.
But of course, obviously she likes how he looks, but like, she was like, we're not sure if she wanted to go see the movie, but then she decided to read the book. And then she goes, oh yeah, I want to go see it because the book's really good. I went, all right. She goes, yeah, it's very twisty. And I was like, don't say anything because I do eventually want to see it. And she was like, I won't. And I even said, like, yeah, but there's one thing I said, don't answer, but I have a feeling of this. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything. And I'm like, yeah, good. But that's the only thing the only thing that I picked up from what I've seen so far. But I'm sure it's like, that's probably just part of like,
it's probably the first thing that they're going to tell you or something.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like something. Yeah. And then there's going to be way more to it. So I don't know, like, because I do have, when it comes to the holidays, the 2 holidays, I have 2 4-day weekends in a row. So maybe I'll probably try to squeeze it in there.
Yeah. I'm looking at because since we're not going to do anything for 2 weeks, so I'm going to see The Housemaid. And then I also am going, so in the gap, I'll see The Housemaid. I'll see Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I want to see Marty Supreme.
And I'm going to see Song Sung Blue.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Well, I'm going to see it because that is the 5th and final movie of my the Focus Feature marathon, where I get a $200 gift card if I watch all 5 of the movies. Song Sung Blue is the 5th one of that. So it started with Downton Abbey, and then I've done The Enemy and the Hamnet and Begonia, and it ends with Song Sung Blue. Once I check that one off the list, I get my $200 gift card. So it'd be like,
nice. There it is. See, pays to go to the movies, guys.
It does pay to go to the movies. So the next movie I have a ticket for, it'll be after we return. So I'll save that for. I'll go to that. I want to go see Is This Thing On?
Which one is that one?
The Bradley Cooper directed movie.
Oh with what's his name?
Will
Arnett.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the comedian who's like his life's shit, and then
his life's shit, so he becomes a comedian accidentally.
Yeah, and it's based on a true story, I think.
It's based on a true story.
I thought it was. I thought I heard that it was, because I listened to a lot of comedy podcasts from comedians, and I could have swore that I thought I heard that it was based on a true story, but I think it is.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it's actually based on. Like, Bradley Cooper heard about this story, and he just was like intrigued by it.
See, I gotta say this. Bradley Cooper as a
filmmaker.
Director has made some really good movies.
Yeah, he's a good filmmaker. And of course, he pops up in this movie too.
Well, he tends to pop up in his movies.
Yeah, of course, he had to do that. I mean, that's just the way it is. But there's even other comedians in there as well. And Will Arnett is not a comedian, but he's a comedic actor. And Will Arnett's very likable. I mean, come on, he's Lego Batman.
And he's Deathstroke in Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
That's true. He's also that.
Slade.
So there you go, guys. But yeah, like I said, we'll take like a little 2-week break. Like I said, we're just wrapping up the end of the year. So we'll take a little break when it comes to this stream. And like I said, Film Junkie Live, I'll play it by ear. I mean, things happen. Maybe we'll do a stream next week, but definitely not the week after. And, vodka streams are just, we'll probably still have those. Because there's not really much with that. It's just us kind of bullshit and stuff like that. So you know, bullshitting and drinking. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, this week for sure, this week will probably be like the definitive Christmas vodka stream. Since it's, since Thursday, we'll have that. I'll wear my Christmas sweater and my Batman Christmas hat that I do. I'll probably be sipping eggnog, which, I better be careful with that, because that eggnog can have some wicked hangovers when it comes to that shit. That's for damn sure. So, anything else you want to promote?
Of course. Just if you're curious about all my holiday movie going, make sure that you are following me on X, Scott DC27, Vero at Scott McClellan, and especially on Letterboxd on Scott McClellan at Scott DC27. That is the place, especially if you want to read my reviews, see my ratings. If you want to know what I'm watching and what I thought about it, that's the place.
There it is. All right. Well, hit that like, thumbs up, guys. Like I said, I got some videos that'll be posted for the next couple of days that I'm going to be recording later on this evening. So look forward to those. And look forward to the vodka stream. Look forward to my Avatar review. And that's pretty much it. And anybody who's just, specifically watching or listening to the DC Fan-imated, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a Merry Christmas and a happy freaking New Year. See you in 2026.